Hello, today we are going to talk about mundane astrological analysis, May 18 till 24, age 2026. And I'm going to be showing you the map of this week. Remember that not also I will show you or present you the material about mundane geopolitical astrology report. Also, I will talk about in the second phase of this video about this week, but for you in your personal life, how you can take advantage of this moment, what things are going to be asking in your life to be moving forward, and how you can really improve everything if you take these advices. So I invite you all to subscribe and share. My name is Carolina Mar, and we are going to start with the information for this astrology report of the weekly report. Okay, I will show you first in the chart that you are seeing right now on the screen. We have Mars entering Toro, okay, the 18. Mars is getting already in Toro and will be activating everything that is related with economics, finances, and I think that resources, everything that is in a big conflict right now. Also, we are seeing here some aspects where we have Venus entering in Cancer. So these two planets are moving forward in the next sign, okay? And we are going to be talking about the Gemini season. I will show you the chart in the next theme. Okay, so two planetary ingresses within 72 hours define this week. The Sun enters in Gemini on May 21st, Venus enters in Cancer during the same period, and Mars freshly arrives in Tauro, begins stepping into economic territory with slowness, and that is not like some kind of, I think Toro, Mars in Toro will be activating the conflicts, but in terms of financial or financial crisis, that the conflicts that we are seeing right now in the world are leaving us, okay? And this is accumulation. This is not a week of visible explosions, it's a week of repositioning. The actors who matter are not making noise, they are signing things or blocking others from signing them, okay? So it's a moment where I think everything is going to be moving in some kind of agreements, new agreements, looking for those, okay? Mars enters in the sign of Tauro, 0 degrees in the third house, as you see in the chart in the screen, and is in a square with Pluto in the first house. This is radical, I have to say, because the square between these two are really complicated, okay? Because Pluto have a really strong force. He is the ruler of Scorpio also. Mars also is the ruler of Scorpio, and these two energies are like this one activate things and Pluto destroy things. So if they are in a square, it's a point of tension where we can expect everything, I have to say, okay? And here lies the most tense aspect of the week, and the one with the greatest, I think, consequences. Okay, Mars enters in Tauro, as I said, and in the 18th, in the third house, in mundane astrology, rules trade routes, transport corridors, agreements between neighboring countries, and physical and informational communication system. Mars there is not merely economic tension, it's the tension over who controls movement, who can pass, who cannot, who closes a route, who opens an alternative corridor. So these are the themes that we are seeing now, okay? The square to Pluto in the first house elevate the conflict to another level, okay? Pluto in the first house in mundane astrology represents the identity of the collective body and the forced transformation. kind of the identity of the world right now is in a big transformation, okay? And when Mars square is from the trade routes and regional agreements, what emerge is a clash between the forces attempting to reorganize structural power and those controlling physical and narrative flows. Everything is happening at the same time, okay? Who controls the routes, the corridors, and also who controls the narrative that is right now in the news everywhere, and that is the big tension, okay? Translated into the current geopolitical board, the escalating disputes over trade corridors, pressure, and strategic routes, tension between neighboring blocs that already carried latent friction. We are seeing now how we have a problem between the president of Mexico and Donald J. Trump. Also, all the teams that are related with Cuba that we are seeing, and Donald J. have a lot of things in his, in his mind. Okay, so the conflict is not new. This week it becomes impossible to ignore if that is something really different. Okay, because this is something that started. Maybe last year or something like that, and now this is coming over again, okay, to generate more tension, more conflicts, and everything. Mars square Pluto does not negotiate politely; it negotiates through pressure and strategic moves that force the other side to react. We can see that Donald J was in a meeting with Xi, the president of China. They kind of have an agreement about Iran, but Iran didn't pronounce anything yet. So uh, I don't think for real that they are going to say, okay, now that is China saying the same thing, we are going to accept the agreement that Donald J. Trump give to us. But okay, this is predictive, and I think the astrology is showing that the conflict is going on. Okay. Also, internal crises in countries where power struggles present themselves as governance crises. So something is happening globally, and we are seeing all the economies that are affected right now. And also we are going to see conflicts, internal conflicts. We are seeing conflicts in Germany right now. We are seeing conflicts in UK. We are seeing conflicts in France. We are seeing conflicts everywhere in United States itself. So I think we have to be prepared because the conflicts are going to be around the world in I think in specific spaces, but also is not something. I think it's internal and also it's external. Okay, Pluto in the first house, square Mars, is national identity under attack, whether real or perceived. So that is something also important to see, because I think that there will be governments that are like saying like those are my enemies, and maybe they're not, but they are perceiving that, or they want to install that as a speech, and okay, they will be acting forward in terms of those decisions or perceptions. Okay. Well, we also have, as I said, the Sun is going to be entering Gemini, but this is not the chart. Let me see if I can change it. Okay. Okay, this is a chart of the entering. Okay, the Sun is entering Gemini, and it will be joining Uranus for the first time. And this is amazing because this energy is like a breakthrough of the mind, technology, ER. Okay, it's going to reactivate the commercial war and everything about that. Also, is a spaceship, relationships, and everything. We are going to find out about the ovnis and all those themes. I think there is going to be an expanded moment of knowing, knowledge, something that is going to be so real, so here, something like that. So we are going to be talking about that. in the next material, I think. Okay, on May 21st, the Sun enters in the 0 degrees of Gemini, and this is not a simply 30-day transit, like Gemini season, because it will be activating Uranus the first time, and Uranus is already in Gemini and is staying there for the next 7 years until 2033. So this is the first activating shock. Okay, Gemini in mundane astrology is not only communication. Okay, Gemini rules trade routes. Okay, bilateral treaties, agreement between neighboring countries, state education policy, land transportation, political speeches that move masses, and information markets. It is the sign where negotiation, connection, and division happen at the same time. Okay, because Gemini can do both so fluidly, with the sun illuminating Gemini over the coming weeks, the global focus shifts toward free trade agreements, renewed tariff disputes, transport corridors becoming objects of diplomatic negotiation, educational reforms that are actually ideological reforms, and leaders attempting to reframe realities slipping out of their control. Okay? So everything that Gemini implies is going to be in the focus of the light. Okay? And we have to expect, I mean, like, I think we are going to see things like in shocking movements, because Uranus has this amazing energy of the unexpected. It's not something that you are saying like, okay, this is coming, I see it coming this way. Or Uranus is so disruptive, and is like, he comes, and everything that you didn't imagine, you didn't expect, happened. Okay, so I think also we can see some kind of shutdown of energy or something like that, some electrical space or places of energy generators or something like that, because it's going to be a big shock, because when the planets join the sun, especially the first encounter in the sign, is like an explosion of the energy. Okay, and this could be something about I think something about the energy or sectors of energy can be producing some shock or something like that. Okay, let's see what else we have here. The sun conjunction in Uranus. As I said before, this is an exponential activation. The sun in the third house, and Uranus also disrupted announcements in trades, communication, technology, AI applied to media, abrupt policy changes in transportation and connectivity. It also the aspect of leaks that change the game, information released when it should not be. Okay, something unexpected. Like I said before, information that recognizes alliances, and information forcing leaders to position themselves around realities they would rather ignore. It's kind of, there is not going to be any space anymore, any more space for those leaders who are trying to see the other side or the other way, like this is not happening here, because now the tension is going to be around the axis of economy and finances and the resources of the world, and also in the communications. So the negotiations, let's see what happened in European Union, okay, and also in everything is around the neighboring countries. Okay, this is something I think we are going to see conflict also. Okay, Venus is entering in Cancer. Let me show you the chart because it's not this one. Okay, it's this one here. The same with Mars. As you can see here, Venus entering in Cancer. It will be showing also Jupiter soon. And then Jupiter is going to Leo. Okay, Jupiter is changing signs. He does that every year, so we are looking forward. Venus in Cancer, protectionism disguised as security. Okay. In mundane astrology, Venus in Cancer is not soft diplomacy, it is emotional protectionism. Like, this is ours, it has roots, it has story, and we will not negotiate it like it's a spreadsheet entry, okay? The fourth house governs land, agriculture, real estate, underground resources, traditions, and foundations of national identity. The identity of belonging. I always say or speaks about this, what it means for you to be, I don't know, from Germany, what it means to be German, what it means to be Mexican, what it means to be American. So the identity of belonging, the traditions, of the country. Venus here directs, connects finance with territory because Venus governs Toro and also governs Libra, that is the sign of peace, negotiations, diplomacy, everything of that we are not seeing that right now in the world, okay, happening. The assets gaining value this week are not abstract financial instruments. They are tangible resources, the one in the ground, the ones that feed a population. So we have to expect agricultural policy announcements, restrictions on foreign ownership of land, food sovereignty debates, movement in agricultural commodity markets, everything that is related with resources, food, agriculture, land, everything, okay? Then we are going to see Saturn in Aries, hardening borders. I think here is some kind of military positions about the borders. Um, Saturn in the 11th house, what we are going to see, forgive me, in the third house. We are seeing that here, in the 11 degrees. Okay. Oh, wait. Let me see here. Saturn in the third house. Okay. We have two positions and two axes of conflict because in this chart we are seeing Saturn in the third. But when we see the chart of the Sun join Uranus and Gemini in the Gemini season beginning, Saturn is in the second house. So these are axes of economy, financial, but also is announcements or things related with um, the routes again, commercial relationships, neighboring countries, and everything that's related with the third house. So Saturn in Aries in mundane astrology also talks about border militarization, rigid limits, the logic of this far and not further, and four through institutional or military forces. Aries wants speed, but Saturn is slow. He wants to create something with time, space, and tranquility. Okay. In the third house, I said before, trade routes between neighboring countries encounter bureaucratic or military obstacles. We have to pay attention here with the relationship of Mexico and United States right now, and also in the European Union between them, and also in Latin America, South America, especially or specifically in everything that is related to ports. Okay, so we are seeing here regional agreements still stall because institutions cannot move at the speed that the situation requires. And in the second house, in the other chart, May 18, here you can see it in the second house, okay? Restrictions shift directly into economic realm, capital controls, financial flow restrictions, emergency economic measures presented as protection but functioning as lags. National budgets under pressure, debt uses as leverage for discipline. Saturn Aries does not yield easily. It's kind of conflictive energy. Jupiter in Cancer. Okay, Jupiter in Cancer. We see that here. Jupiter in Cancer, the great amplifier of everything. In mundane astrology, these expand food markets, domestic debt, economic nationalism, housing policies, the state as a protector or provider, and care based economies. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, but exaltation does not mean peace. So, paying attention. The economic nationalism expanded by Jupiter in Cancer can produce either a strong social policy or aggressive protectionism that worsens international tension. Okay. Okay. So this weekly predictive synthesis for all of you this week operates in two simultaneous speed. One on the surface, announcements, speeches, narrative repositioning, intense diplomatic activity. Gemini seasons open a cycle where what is said matters as much as what is done, and something more. Beneath the surface, Mars squaring Pluto from trade routes toward collective identity is a real conflict of the week. This is not something that is making noise, okay? It's the architecture of power fighting over the physical and informational corridors of the world, okay? So, the main axis of this week: control of trade routes and strategic corridors, major informational or technological break, resource protectionism and territorial sovereignty, border militarization and economic restrictions, amplified financial speculation. I hope you write it down everything because you are going to remember me. Okay? Now we are going to talk about this astrologic report, but in the personal analysis, okay, for you in your life, how you can take an advantage of this energy and movements. And I hope that you all be in align with this 2026, that is a year of so much bigger changes, okay. So the world as we knew no longer exist. That is something really important. I want to start with this because this is not something that I am saying like some poetic phrase. Is a diagnosis about everything that is happening in the sky in between 2025 and 2026. And I think this is going to be like a world that is creating new systems about everything until the 2030. So we have a lot of time in front of us, okay? This week, the sky is doing something it hasn't done in decades. It is simultaneously reorganizing the rules of the collective game and yours. And the question is not whether you are going to feel it, the question is whether you'll be asleep when it happens or whether you have your eyes wide open, seeing it and doing something about it. Okay, the difference between the two people, that someone's who have a lot of doubts, have unfinished projects. You have the same conversation that you been having for the last years, or the people that are seeing what is happening and they are using this, okay, to go to the next level, okay. And this is not talking about who have or not talent or lack maybe. It is only awareness, okay, of what is really happening in the world. And I think accepting, like the world we knew is not longer here anymore. So we have to adapt to the new kind, okay? What is happening and why it matters to you? This week, there are three energies moving at the same time, and they are not separate events. The first layer is something in your life has reached a real point of tension. So go and check, okay? There is an area of your life where what you want and the structures you live inside no longer fits together. This is not new. It's been building for a long time, but this week the tension gains a name gains weight and visible consequences. Okay, you can no longer ignore what the price that you are paying from being in the same place, saying the same things, doing the same things. Okay. The second layer is the world of information changed the rules. Okay, for every one of us. The way you inform yourself, the way you make decisions, the way you communicate with others, all of it being rewritten. Okay, not in 10 years, like, not something that is far, far away from us right now, is in this moment. Okay, this way something is revealed, announced, or suddenly appears, forcing you to review how updated your map of your reality is actually going. Okay, because I think with Uranus and Gemini, the Sun, Mercury, everything is activating this breakthrough. The map that we had in our minds is not longer the world that exists. Okay, so you have to reconfigure yourself. Okay, are you making decisions using information from 2 years ago, using narrative someone else built for you to believe, using a worldview that no longer matches the territory? Basically, are you living in the past? Okay, or are you coming to the future? The third layer, what you build to protect yourself may not be turning into a cage. I think I think we are going we are going to feel so tight the cage this week. I like to talk about the jungle monkeys that who takes risks, and they go for it, and the cages monkeys, those who stays in the comfort zone, paying the price of being, you know, in this tightened place where you cannot move, you cannot think. Okay, a lot of people is fighting with the review, the readapting of the new world. But this is happening whether you like it or not. Okay, so as I said, what you build to protect yourself may be turning into a cage. The stability you search for, the routines you created, the structures you built to feel safe. This week, they reveal what they truly are. Some are solid foundations, others are comfortable prisons, and the sky will not tell you which is which. You have to see that yourself. Okay. The five things of the week. First, the conflict you haven't resolved. There is something creating tension in your life that you still haven't resolved. It could be a conversation you avoid, an agreement you signed that no longer represents you anymore, a relationship, work, personal, family, where the roles are not longer clear and nobody wants to be the first to say it. This week, that tensions wants an exit. Okay? The conflict that you refuse to name does not disappear. It's not going to be disappearing. Okay? It's not going, you have to face it. Okay? And when this this energy is accumulated too much, it explodes in the worst possible moment and form for you. Okay? A question for you to work with: what conflict are you managing instead of resolving? Okay. Second, your map is already outdated. Okay. Something in the way you interpret the world, your industry, your relationships, your money is based on information that is not longer current. It's not the world, the new world, is the old one. Beliefs you learn in another context, narratives someone else sold you that you adopted as your own, strategies that worked before and that you keep repeating out of inertia. Maybe you have some strategies that, as I said, worked for you before, but right now it's like you are seeing this is not giving me the same results, because you have to reinvent yourself. This week, there is a massive activation in the area of information, communication, and learning. Um, this is an invitation to update your map. The problem is not that the map is outdated. All maps become outdated because the world is changing the maps and the rules of the game. The problem is believing the map is the territory. Okay? Some questions for you. When was the last time you questioned a belief you hold about money or about your abilities? Okay. Third thing, the stability that is holding you back. That is holding you back. Okay. You want stability. That's human. Every one of us wants stability, especially about our financial situation, money, resources, and everything. Okay. But there is a massive difference between stability that give you foundation to grow and stability that give you an excuse to not move. So if you can see the difference there, okay? This week, the sky is illuminating the exact difference in your life. Are you paying attention of that? What has been slowly building a project, a decision, a change in direction reaches a point where it can no longer remain something I'll do when I'm ready. You have to do it now, okay? You have to be ready now. Or maybe you are not ready, but you start anyway right now, okay? The moment of being ready never arrives. The moment to move arrives even when you are not ready, okay? And maybe something of your reality now is like pushing you, like something is getting so real, and you are feeling like I'm not ready, I am scared, but the energy is pushing you anyway, so please go for it, okay? What are you waiting for before taking the step you already know you need to take? What are you waiting for? More money, more time, more certainty. What are you waiting for? Okay? None of these things or those things appears before you move. So you have to jump. This is a jump fate and you have to do it. Okay. The fourth theme is the true value of what you have. There is something in your life worth more than what you are charging for it, more than what you are acknowledging, more than you are protecting. Okay, it may be your time, your knowledge, your network, your specific talent, okay, your story. There is something you possess that the market, in the broadest sense, is willing to pay for, but you are not offering it at the price that you deserve. So, what you are waiting for? Okay, how much is what you have actually worth? And are you charging that? If in an imaginary world, you think that everyone will be thrilling to pay you whatever you want, whatever you ask for, which be your real price for the things that you are offering? Okay, think about that. Okay, some questions to work. In what area of your life are you charging less than what you truly offers is worth? Okay? And what story are you telling yourself to justify it? Because of course we are justifying it. Okay? So the next theme is the world that is not coming back. We have to accept that. Okay, we are in a moment where we have to adapt. to survive. The world as we know it is not coming back. This is the most important thing and the hardest to accept. The world you knew, the rules of work, money, information, relationship between countries and between people is being rewritten. Okay? Not gradually. You have to understand that Uranus in Gemini will be in the trigon with Pluto in Aquarius for the next years. So, a trigon between these two planets in the air signs are talking about us the speed of the changes and the movements. So, you don't have as long as you want to make changes. Okay, you have to do it right now. You have to start now. So, um, this is not a temporary crisis. I want to understand, and you understand this. Um, this is an era of changes that do not reverse. We are not coming back to what we were. Okay. The question is not when this will end, so everything can return to normal. Normal. What is normality now? No. The question is what you are going to build inside this new era and this new world. Okay? Which is your strategy for this? Because the new world is already here. It won't stop. This won't stop. It's already started. And the window to position yourself inside it will not remain open forever. Okay? Will not remain open forever. Okay? We have now a period of time, a window of time, I like to say, in between this month and July, maybe August. Then the planets are going to be retrograding. So something will be going so slow and sticky. So what you don't take action now in the second half of the year will be more difficult for you. Okay. um, as I say, the window to position yourself inside it will not remain open forever. The people who will emerge stronger from this period are not the ones with the most resources. Okay. This new world is for those who take chances and risks. Question to work with. If the rules of the world in which you build your current life is not longer apply, what would you still keep doing? And what would you radically change? Okay? So, let's see. Um it's true that I did not come here to tell you that everything will be fine, because it's not that everything is going to be like a conflict or something bad, but it's not like we are in a moment of time where it's easy for us to accept that the world changes so much and everything is defined us um, in ways that maybe you didn't want to uh, to be asked, but the reality is here and you have to move. Okay. So this week, the sky is giving you exactly what you need to move if you choose to use it. Tension to name what has not been named, information to update your map, energy to renegotiate what no longer works for you, and rupture with the familiar that, if you receive it correctly, may be the best news you could have received. Okay. Um, the world that is not coming back was not as good as you remember it. I think that some people are idealizing the past. That is typical of human beings. idealizing the past, so Neptunian way of thinking, like everything in the past was beautiful and better and glowy. But when you were there, maybe you didn't feel it that way, but it's like a romantic scene of things, okay? So de-romanticize that and go for it to the future, because the future is here, and it's now asking you if you are agree or not, okay? What comes next for you can be even better, but it will not build itself. You have to work for it. What are you going to do this week with what you know right now? What are you going to do? Are you taking chances? Are you moving forward? Or are you staying in that place where you are comfortable, but you know that the roof is collapsing? So, I see you all in the next video.